Absolutely, Rio. It's good to see you. Hello, everyone. My name is Kathleen. I am the Equal Opportunity Coordinator and Equal Opportunity Investigator for a municipal government in the state of Florida. I've been here 12 years, a little more than that, and I'm responsible for investigating all of our discrimination and harassment complaints, as well as from all of our employees, as well as from the public. I'm the only person that does that here, so it's a small little office. I also do some of our Americans with Disabilities Act coordination, process those claims, as well as our Title VI claims.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathleen. And I know you have been using Case IQ applications for a while now on at least 2 versions. So can you tell me a little bit about how you previously managed investigations pre-Case IQ and then what made you choose Case IQ?
Sure. So pre-Case IQ, we use paper files. I used to work for our state's Fair Employment Practice Agency, which is the agency that is like the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Most states have one. And so, I've kind of brought over the methodology from there. And so we use paper files. Everything was done, with paper, right? And then back in 2015, about 10 years ago, our organization wanted to move toward paperless. And so we, started using Case IQ, actually the first version of it in 2017 into 2018. And I don't know if I can go ahead and tell you how we came upon it, if you'd like. So I was tasked with finding something, right? That would go paperless. Searching out there, there's lots of stuff for investigations, or lots of, I should say, not for investigations, but lots of things for human resources. Our office is not housed within human resources. It's a separate standalone office, and we focus solely on discrimination and harassment investigations, right? So we wanted something, and coming from my background, I wanted something that was focused on that. And looking out there, there really wasn't much. There was investigation software for a legal practice, for police, lots for human resources, but really only found Case IQ for investigation management. And what I was looking for was something that would manage a pure, investigation from that point of view. And that's how we ended up with you.
Awesome. And that actually answered part of my next question as well. So in the case management or investigation system that you were looking for, was there anything else specific to that you were looking for?
Absolutely. We were looking for something, I was looking for something along with my director, but really looking for something that could manage an investigation that would help keep it on track, where number one, it had to be confidential. It had to have the ability to capture, case intake, to be able to capture notes, to be able to upload documents, to be able to upload emails. Because of our public records law here in Florida, we can't. Case IQ has this awesome email feature where you can email from within the app. So those who aren't in Florida and aren't restricted by this, it's a great feature. I tried it, but we aren't able to use it. So I had to be able to send our email from our Outlook system to Case IQ, or to a file, to an app, to be able to be managed. Had to have good storage, had to be able to accommodate multiple users. And then also to be able to be more than just what I want to call electronic manila folder. It had to have functionality that would, be able to have reminders and things like that. And also really just to be able to keep an easy to read format, an easy to follow format, where we could keep the cases tracked, so we could stay, current and be timely with our investigations. That was very important, along with the confidentiality. We also use the app to manage our ADA accommodation cases. So confidentiality was key, because medical information has to be kept confidential. And again, to be able to have a system that would track the many, we usually get probably close to 100 a year, ADA accommodations that we receive from our employees, the requests that we receive. So that, and it is probably in a nutshell, what we were looking for, at least initially.
Mhm. That is awesome. And then within that as well, was there anything else about Case IQ that stood out over the other options? I know you said it kind of seemed like there weren't a lot of options at the start, but were there any
Right.
other things that stood out?
We looked at closely at one human resources application platform that had some potential, but it was really focused on human resources and things like tracking grievances and attendance and discipline and things like that. It was almost like a HR office in a box, and that's not to take away from it. I think it's done very well, and it looked quite robust. It just wasn't what we needed. Again, we wanted something really focused on um, on investigations. We also wanted something that wasn't completely out of a box, that we could customize to a certain extent. And we've loved this about Case IQ. We've worked with Case IQ to build something. The basic platform is standard, so that when updates are pushed out, that that everyone gets the update. But it's customized so that it's here for our organization. Our departments are in it. It's linked to our human resources management system that we use, so that we can just put in an employee number and pull up any of our employees, which saves a ton of time because we don't have to toggle back to our HR, electronic human resource platform to be able to input information. Everything pulls over. It's very seamlessly integrated. But really the ability to customize it, and also to not have those extra superfluous HR functions because we're not an HR office. So
Mhm. Awesome. Thank you. Alrighty. And then I do just have a couple other questions here. So, how would you say that Case IQ has benefited you, your process, and your organization since you started using it?
well, it has really been phenomenal as far as keeping us organized and keeping us timely. As I said, I've been here 12 years. I did this work with the state for 15 years before I came here. Very similar work. I've always had a caseload of some sort, especially here. We have about 4,000 employees plus all of the public, and I manage the complaints and do the investigations for all of those people. And for the first time, especially since Case IQ updated their platform a couple of years ago, and we've now integrated those new features, which are even more robust, as far as being able to track things, put in reminders, to-dos in advance, so that we've programmed it, we've written it so that it sends reminders when you filed a complaint, within so many days, make sure that you've done this or that. It's really we've customized it to give us the prompts we need. And I have a current caseload. It's fabulous. I've never in 12 years had an absolutely current caseload where all my cases are done very quickly. I can stay on top of them. Things don't fall through the cracks. And that's essential in what we do. We're dealing with discrimination issues that are based on federal and state law. There's certain things that we want to make sure are current, that nothing falls through the cracks. And this has allowed us to do that and be much more timely with our case processing, and that's to the benefit of the organization and to the parties, right, that are involved. So it's
Mhm.
important to be able to get these things done quickly.
Absolutely. I love the stat about the caseload being down to little to nothing with
Yes,
Case IQ. So that's
it
also
really is. Yeah, it's great.
amazing. Alrighty. And then just the last question I have here is just based on what you know about Case IQ, is there anything that you're looking forward to exploring a little bit more in the future?
Yes, I think the new AI tool that's in there, the functionality for investigative reports. I love that Case IQ has the ability to pull from the information that you enter into the platform, your notes, your interviews, and things like that, the initial intake form, to pull it into an investigative report. And I don't want, I don't mean to say that we would eliminate the role of the investigator, or would we want to do that. But what it does do, and with the AI now, is that you can, have the app pull together kind of the shell of a report and actually review documents, review our policies, which is new. We can upload our policies and it can kind of scan through to see if there are inconsistencies with our policies. So that helps out. That's especially important, you know, um, for me, for just getting things done more timely, but also in our case here. It's a succession planning thing. I will be leaving the organization in a few years, and so we want to make sure that this is, that anybody could jump in and work on this. And we set this up with Case IQ, we were able to set this up so that any of my colleagues in my office who don't do what I do, but are familiar somewhat with it, can get into this app and work and enter a case, say if I'm on vacation, which is great. Stuff doesn't sit there. People are not sitting and waiting, which is not what we want to have happen. And so someone else can jump in and work. But also with the AI function, which we look forward to exploring in the near future, um, it will help, I think, pull some of the basics together so that then, my skills, my experience can be used as far as analytics to be able to delve into, more of the detail of the legal analysis for the case. And so it takes some of the housekeeping work as far as putting a report together and takes care of that. So we're looking forward to exploring that very much.
Awesome. That was sort of the last of my questions, but I did also just want to open it up to see if there was anything else that I didn't touch on that you wanted to call out. And
I think, it's if you're doing workplace investigations, whether it's, equal opportunity, Title IX, fraud, type things, non-human resource, but yet more investigative work in an employment setting. I think it's really the only app and the only platform that we are aware of that exists, and we're just excited that it's as wonderful as it is and keeps improving. The other thing I would like to call out, for those considering it, is the team. The Case IQ team is very responsive, so pleasant to work with, and professional, but we build relationships, and so it's great. We build relationships with our support team, with the implementation team, with our account manager, and it's really special. So you're not just some cog in a wheel somewhere, but when you call, you get really great customer service, and that goes a long way. That really can't be replicated.
amazing. Thank you so much. I do really appreciate your time today, Kathleen, and all of your input. It is extremely valuable, and we hope you continue to use Case IQ for many years to come, and then
We
pass
expect
it
to
on
do
to,
so.
to the rest of the team.
We expect to do so. We have an awesome system, and we're looking forward to keeping it around for a long time.